What happened in the Menifee, Murrieta, and Temecula real estate market in December? Well, for starters, Murrieta's sales price had a huge rebound from the previous month, as I predicted. We'll give you the details, go over the rest of the market data, and help you make sense of it all moving forward. Here we go. If you are new here, I'm Jessica with the Genung team and Real Broker, and I am here to help educate you on the Temecula Valley housing market and help you make the best decisions when moving to, from, and around the Temecula Valley. We are here to help you whether you're looking to move in 2 days or 2 years. We love to hear from you. The big-ish news in the stats today is the median price of a single-family home in Murrieta jumped up $51,500 month over month to a median sales price of $691,500, which is an 8% increase just in 1 month. Historically, homes over the long run appreciate around 5% a year, give or take. So 8% in 1 month is quite the huge jump. This month's median sales price is knocking on the door of the all-time high in Murrieta of $705,000, which was in June of 2022 for context. If you recall my market report from last month, Murrieta had a large drop in sales price, so I was confident that the sales price would be bouncing back up. All 3 cities, Menifee, Murrieta, and Temecula, are posting strong year-over-year gains in price appreciation, even though the number of homes sold is way down and the number of listings on the market is way down, otherwise known as our inventory. The Murrieta and Temecula resale home markets are currently faring better than Menifee. Year over year, Murrieta and Temecula homes have appreciated about twice as much on a percentage basis. We'll dive into why that is and talk about it when we go over the stats as well. One key point about stats this month, and any period for that matter, is to know that the MLS market stats are not the whole picture because of the amount of new construction builders in our area. New home builders are experiencing a boom even while the resale market was seeing decreased sales volume. This major part of the real estate market is not typically run through the MLS and therefore does not hit my stats. One exception to that is the rare listing that a builder and the specific community sales staff post on the MLS to get more traffic, usually the quick move-in homes that are already complete. By the way, new builds have been about half of my personal business over the past few years. Over the latter part of last year, 2023, I kept hoping for the sake of my new construction buyer clients that we would start to see a repeat of some of the great incentives my clients were securing at the end of the year before in 2022.
I'm going to make them an offer he can't refuse.
Builders panicked a little bit and started offering all sorts of incentives because they had slowed quite rapidly when the interest rates increased and resale home inventory increased right along with it. It was short-lived though, and the spring selling market was pretty hot, and it's been steady for new construction, and that is still the case now. There are some builders that are offering decent incentives currently, but not like I was seeing a year ago when they were offering some of the best incentives that I've seen over the past few years, especially on the quick move-in homes is where I saw the best incentives. Most of the builders have some financing incentives for the rate and closing costs to counteract the high rates that we know about. If you want to learn about the various ways that you can negotiate with builders, next month I'm bringing back my webinar, 7 Ways to Save Money on a New Construction Home. It's a free webinar that I'll be hosting live, and there is a link to sign up to be notified when I get that scheduled down below in the description. This webinar will especially prepare you if the new construction market starts to cool again, which could happen if we see more inventory in the resale market, as I'm expecting. I want you to have all the tools in the toolbox. Back to our local market. Let's talk about Menifee for a minute. Most of the new construction in our area is being built in Menifee and Winchester. And since the number of homes for sale in the resale market has been so low, that's been pushing more home buyers to opt for new construction. As a result, the Menifee sales price has recently declined, although it is still up year over year, but it's only up about half as high as Murrieta and Temecula home price gains. We're not seeing as high of appreciation in Menifee, in my opinion, because there is more opportunity for building new supply in comparison with Temecula and Murrieta, which are already getting pretty built out. On the stock market, many of these new home builders crushed earnings expectations in 2023, which is making negotiating concessions harder. Home builder stocks trounced the broader market in 2023, fueled by buyers who flocked to new construction and the shift late in the year to a brighter housing outlook. The 10 largest builders by market capitalization jumped an average of 95% in 2023, while the S&P index was up 24%. When the home builders are meeting, and especially when they are exceeding their numbers, management is less willing to negotiate concessions with buyers. My point of all this is to say that when resale inventory is down like it is now, it helps the new build market. When resale inventory goes up, new build demand seems to go down. Let's get into the stats. Okay, we're going to start with the median sales price. As always, we are only looking at the cities of Menifee, Murrieta, and Temecula, and we're only looking at the stats for single family homes for simplicity. So starting with Menifee, and Menifee had our largest price drop month over month, decreasing 2.2% or $12,553 month over month. Menifee still has a year-over-year gain of $25,500, and that is up 4.7%. So although, as I mentioned before, Menifee's gain is half of what Temecula and Murrieta's is year over year, 4.7% yearly gain is very typical in the real estate market, so still good. Moving on to Murrieta, so this was kind of the big news here. You can see month over month the sales price increased 8% or $51,500. So that is a huge jump in 1 month, but as I said, I expected that because we had a larger than normal decline the month before in November. So I fully expected it to bounce back up. Year over year, Murrieta is seeing good home price appreciation at 10.6% or $66,500 for your median single family home. Moving on to Temecula, it's fairly flat. It's decreased 0.7% or $5,400 month over month. So if you look at the red bar chart there down at the bar graph, so 2023 is in red. And so we have prices are actually quite stable in Temecula right now, but it's a slight 3-month decline. But I mean, if you're just looking at the graph, it looks fairly stable, but it is a slight decline. Year over year, Temecula's home price appreciation is in the middle of Menifee and Murrieta at 9.4% or $65,000. So great gains year over year. Moving on to closed sales, starting with Menifee, and the results are kind of a mixed bag over the cities. So starting with Menifee, their closed sales increased 3.2% or 3 homes. So that's fairly flat, but a slight increase, which actually goes the opposite direction as is seasonally typical. Normally in December, we would see fewer sales than November, but it inched up by 3 homes. Year over year, this is consistent throughout all cities. We have fewer homes, so fewer home closed sales. So 23.8% decline on the amount of closed sales. And that makes sense because we had a lot more inventory at the end of 2022. That's when the interest rates were really going up and people were kind of thinking, oh, the market, maybe it's crashing, maybe I should wait. So inventory started to increase. Buyers had more homes to choose from, more homes were closing. Now we have such few homes to choose from on the market right now, so fewer homes are closing. Moving on to Murrieta, fairly flat as well, a decrease in closed sales of 1 home. Year over year, it's down 16 homes from 86 in December of 2022 to 70 in December of 2023, so that's an 18.6% decline in number of closed sales for Murrieta. Lastly, Temecula's also saw a decrease in closed sales, and this again is seasonally typical. Menifee is kind of the anomaly for inching up the 3 homes, but Murrieta and Temecula are showing seasonally typical trends. Decrease of 10 homes month over month from November to December, and then year over year it's down 23 homes by 24% in Temecula. Median days on market, starting with Menifee, and all 3 cities, the median days on market increased a little bit. Again, that's seasonally typical for homes to take longer to sell as we get towards the end of the year. Month over month in Menifee, it took 12 more days, which is quite a lot percentage-wise increase. So that makes sense for the sales price to come down, as we saw in the earlier slide. The longer it takes homes to sell, the more they're on the market, the more likely motivated sellers are going to either price closer to market, price their homes initially better, or even negotiate down a little bit. So pretty big increase on days in market to 35 days month over month in Menifee. Moving on to Murrieta. Murrieta's increased by 2 days. So that's seasonally typical and, fairly flat, just inching up just a little bit. Year over year, it's taking 20 fewer days to sell. So we're moving much more quickly than we were like a year ago. Lastly, Temecula, month over month, it's taking 7 more days to sell a home month over month. And then year over year, it's taking 17 fewer days. Very consistent across the board. Year over year, homes are selling quicker. Month over month, homes are taking longer to sell. Okay, number of listings, and these stats are just down, down, down. I'm not even going to talk about the year over year like I say every month, because all 3 cities and for many, many months are down the number of listings year over year by 40 to 50%. So we know our inventory has just gotten crushed. It's super low. But month over month, we're seeing pretty big decreases in a number of listings as well, which we normally see from November to December. These might be a little bit higher than typical, but it's normal to see decreases here. So month over month in Menifee, we have 46 fewer listings. Let's look at Menifee months of supply real quick. I got this data number as well, and it's pretty consistent across all 3 cities also, 1.6 months of supply. So that means that if no new homes were to come to the market, it would take 1.6 months to sell through all of our inventory. So that's still a pretty strong seller's market. Number of listings in Murrieta month over month is down 41 listings, and Murrieta has 1.7 months of supply. So very similar to Menifee, still a pretty strong seller's market. Number of listings in Temecula is down 43 homes, and that is 22.5% month over month. And Temecula's months of supply is 1.6, the same as Menifee. So I would say that Temecula, especially because they have the lowest amount of new listings, is a particularly strong seller's market. And it does seem like that we're seeing the most amount of multiple offers on the Temecula homes that are the hot properties, because there's fewer to choose from. So hope you found these stats helpful, and let us know what you think down below in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Bye.